Within the land preservation movement today, calls to preserve and protect special or unique parts of the world remain strong. But there is an alternative. Increasingly, advocates are calling for the adoption of programs that reject the idea of distinct spaces for distinct functions, having territory set aside for wilderness or for agricultural land, where each is separate and subject to their own standards and regulations. Instead, we can look at embracing an idea of the whole landscape, one that extends beyond the natural environment to include the cultural and social relationships that are deeply embedded and layered upon the physical world. So this type of landscape needs to be understood as a multifunctional and dynamic system that through its natural and cultural layers delivers a range of cultural, physical, and biological services that contribute to human and ecological well-being. What we need today is to develop land use management approaches that are capable of embracing these diverse services and relationships. In order to get to this point, though, requires the collaboration from experts across the academic world. Policy experts, ecologists, agricultural scientists, soil specialists, geographers, geologists, biologists, and historians. Okay, so maybe that wasn't what you were expecting. But in order to undertake integrated landscape management, we need to start by identifying and understanding how the conceptions and depictions of the environment that we are currently using have developed over time, shaped the landscape, and continue to inform decisions in the contemporary world. In my SSHRC-funded research, I examined changing conceptions of the Gulf Islands, an archipelago on the coast of British Columbia. By detailing the ideas put forward by government officials, journalists, residents, and travelers, I've been able to develop an understanding of how and why ideas of the Gulf Islands as a special or unique pastoral landscape emerged as a result of interactions between individuals and groups and their political, social, economic, and physical environments. The big question for my study, however, was to try to understand how these ideas in turn influence the physical environment through their application in land use planning policies and programs, and in particular how the implementation of a unique overarching planning commission called the Islands Trust in 1974 emerged as a mechanism devoted to limiting development and defending the islands as a pastoral landscape of leisure. And by pulling these processes from the historical record, we can begin to see the various ways that individuals with their perceptions, values, and concerns have shaped the world to fit their own image. In any part of the landscape, if we look closely and are open to it, we can see a complex network of social and cultural processes that are layered alongside the ecological systems. So roadways and logging debris, buildings and trails, farmland and parks, they all point toward interactions with the land. But landscapes and conservation efforts tend to naturalize and render invisible these processes, which makes it all the more important to document them and pay attention to the stories that they can tell in order to recognize how we shape the landscape, as well as to continue to inform decisions in the contemporary world.